Bob Chipman exists, which is by far the worst thing to happen to this world since Chernobyl, so it's not hard to reach the conclusion that his videos are beyond awful. A good example of why his videos are shit was the first episode of his show The Big Picture, where he pretty much claimed that the developer Bungie was being racist for giving the Spartans blue eyes.
And you know it worked because his eyes are blue now? Bungie, that's some pretty scary unintended symbolism there.
Yeah, he's this fucking dumb. Bob, if there was an award for the most dumb fucking statement ever said by anyone, you definitely deserve a position in the top 100. Congratulations, God bless America. Okay, that video was made in 2011. That's a good amount of time to improve your videos, improve your statements, anchor yourself into the ground, change people's minds, change the world with your voice of reason.
Okay, gang, is everyone ready to talk about what we actually saw at E3 last week? You betcha.
Hell yeah.
Do I have a choice? Alright then.
Movie Bob has stooped so low that the Inspector Gadget video from Cinemassacre looks like a Stanley Kubrick movie in comparison to this shit.
How you doing, Inspector Gadget?
I'm having a lot of fun.
I mean, all it's missing is the wacky music, and you'd probably have the worst thing ever created since Nerve Gas. Or just remember that this is a grown fucking man who wrote a book. But I haven't actually refuted any of Bob Chipman's points. So fuck it, let's do it. Let's do it, I'm ready. I guess the title really reflects Bob himself.
So yeah, E3 happened. Sony talked for too long, Microsoft said, guys, Master Chief, really, we promise. Ubisoft apparently feels about women the way Rob Liefeld feels about drawing feet. Way too many gruff, world-weary Caucasian dudes, you know, the usual.
You may have noticed a little feature of Bob Chipman's recent videos. For some reason, he's taken the liberty of shortening the audio in his videos, which is strange in a way because it makes listening to his videos even more painful.
A surprising almost consensus that seemed to take hold in the immediate aftermath was the big quote-unquote winner this year was actually Nintendo.
Okay, this should improve things a little.
Of course, what was always going to be a big deal was the first teasing reveal of the next Legend of Zelda, which looks a lot like the last Legend of Zelda, but you get to have your horse again. So, yeah, yay horse!
Okay, nothing can improve this, let's go back to the original.
What was really interesting, though, is that a fairly sizable portion of games journalists and viewers at home took a look at this most recent incarnation of the Hero of Time and collectively asked each other the same question. Hey, does it look to you like Link is a woman this time?
Link's looked pretty effeminate for a long time. Nothing out of the ordinary.
And cards on the table? I was one of them.
We've already seen your keen observation skills, Bob.
His eyes are blue now?
No need to flaunt them to your audience.
But yeah, there was also that. Making Zelda herself playable, making gender choice an option in the game, or making Link female are all ideas that have been batted around by gamers for years.
First of all, not only by gamers, but I won't be going into details. But in all honesty, the type of people who talk about this shit are people like you, Bob. A very small minority in a very big consumer base. The majority of people who play video games don't give two fucks about a character's sex.
I mean, I could also get into specific details, like the genre-specific gender coding of the riding hood.
Only women wear hoods now?
The horse riding poise.
And Bob just showed he knows nothing about horse riding. There's a good reason why you don't put your ass down on the saddle while galloping. One, it's a lot safer to stand up in the stirrups. And two, it shifts your center of gravity. It has nothing to do with gender.
The seemingly slimmer than usual waist suggesting feminine hips, the young anime female look of the arrow-firing stance and animation, you get the idea. Either way, it's apparently a moot point because Aonuma apparently later clarified that no, this is Link, just perhaps even more Bishonen than usual. Ah well, that happens.
It wouldn't have happened if, you actually thought about what you were saying, and realized how deluded you all were.
A female Link? I think Nintendo should absolutely do that. That would be awesome.
Changing the sex of a well-established character? From a marketing standpoint, nothing could possibly go wrong, but let's see Bob's reasons.
First off, it'd be different, and if there's one thing this shambling, bumbling, increasingly bloated, yet increasingly empty husk of a medium could use, it's a lot more different. I understand that gaming is just going through the same awkward adolescent phase that comic books did in the 90s, but when the best visual counter-argument to the medium having been utterly overrun by subtle variation on the same boring, crusty, hard-ass white dude as a group shot of legacy characters, all from 2 decades ago or more, you've got a problem.
And how is changing a character's sex going to fix any of this? And I'm not even mentioning the fact that you're clearly cherry-picking games. Yes, there is a lot of stagnance in the gaming industry, but when you claim these problems are caused by white males, it's like saying wizards cause thunderstorms.
Taking a super iconic character who's always been male and saying, let's make him a her this time, would inevitably be called a stunt, but a stunt or not, it would also be the clearest and loudest possible signal of acknowledgement that the 21st century world is progressing and evolving, and that video games must progress and evolve with it.
Because if there's one thing we all need, is Bob Chipman's progressive attitude in a fantasy video game. I fail to understand how a character's genitals will change a video game industry. Again, the majority of people who buy video games don't care about this.
let me be really clear on that point too. New female characters, good and desperately needed.
Makes sense, and is a lot better off than just changing a character's sexual organs and going, LOL, we're progressive now.
Female characters taking over lead spots in established franchises, also good, but gender flipping an iconic, universally recognized character, earth-shaking.
Again, it would only be earth-shaking for those who already concern themselves with Link's sexual organs. Other than that, most people will just ignore it. More people seem to be concerned about entertainment in video games than progressive undertones, and honestly, nothing's going to change that.
Finally, yeah, I'm gonna go there. This would be positive. This would be a net good thing for Nintendo, for gaming, for popular culture, for everything. All those factors that make Link uniquely ideal for this quote-unquote stunt also mean that gaming would actually make a positive progressive move with regard to representation before film, TV, books, etc. got there first.
There's never been LGBT characters in books, TV shows, and movies. And you know, there's never been an LGBT character in video games either. It is written that only Link can defeat bigotry.
And yeah, think about the message. Think about what this would mean to young women who've always been told that no matter how far ahead they get, there's still a ceiling, and they'll almost always start in second place.
Do you really think a Zelda game is going to change issues like that? A fucking video game.
And finally, think what this could mean symbolically to gamers with questions, uncertainties, or otherwise fluidity about their own gender.
Yeah, if someone's questioning their own gender, the one thing they're going to turn to is Link, a pointy-eared character from a fantasy game. Okay, Bob, to say you're deluded would be an understatement. Sometimes the shit you say is so dumb, so utterly detached from reality, and it once again brings up the age-old question. Is Bob Chipman being stupid for money and attention? Or is he just stupid?